It is possible to get a certain reaction from people or a certain behavior from people without having to ask for it. It's possible to just wake up and assume a certain thing about yourself and have every other person in your reality reflect that same assumption. It is very much possible. Hola and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you just see me for the first time, my name is Ene Annabelle, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. How did you like last week's video? If you haven't seen it, tap on this card right over here and it's going to lead, the card is here. It's going to lead you straight to the video from last week. I got a lot of good feedback from people who really resonated with what I talked about last week. And so if you haven't checked it out, just tap on the card right here. So today's topic is something that is born out of a movie that I saw on Netflix called Inventing Anna. Today's topic, simply put, is how to get people to behave a certain way using the very simple law of assumption. Now, if you've seen the movie, you probably have an idea what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, perhaps after this video you can go and see that it's a limited series, so when you see the movie you get a clear understanding of what I want to talk about. Basically, the law of assumption is when you assume something to be true for yourself, in your reality, other people start to reflect it. So now this movie is about a girl named Anna. Now Anna, my namesake by the way, Anna came from a very poor family, right? I think she moved to a different country. Now on arrival in that country, she started making people believe that she came from a very wealthy family. Do you understand? This involved, first of all, her believing that herself, assuming that she came from a wealthy family. Now this ties into delusion, right? Safe to say Anna was delusional. She started behaving like somebody who came from a really wealthy family. Do you get? And because she started assuming that about herself, the people she was relating to, even without her saying it, they naturally started assuming, okay, Anna is from a wealthy family. Do you understand? Now, even if Anna at some point started literally lying, I want to believe that if she went on just assuming that she came from a wealthy family without even having to say it, people would just assume it. So Anna started behaving like someone who came from a wealthy family. She started dressing like someone who came from a wealthy family. And because of that, she started attracting people who are wealthy themselves. Do you understand? Because the rich love to associate themselves with the rich. The wealthy people love associating themselves with wealthy people. No poor person, because she was not behaving like a poor person, in quote, the poor people were not in her reality. At least the movie did not capture poor people in her reality. Bringing this back to ourselves, what does this mean? Now, simply put, this means that when you wake up and start assuming a certain thing about yourself, people are going to fall in line. Now, I've experienced this so many times, over and over again. 2 months ago, I read a book, right? And I started seeing myself as a seductress. Do you understand? And I went on this date with this man, and I wasn't even dressed in my usual sexy self. I was all covered up and, but this man at some point, towards the end of the day, he was like, "You're a seductress." I was like, because I started assuming that about myself. The people in my reality started getting that energy without me even have to tell them. Do you know that I'm a seductress? Do you understand? So that's by the way. Moving on. So many times where I have assumed a certain thing about myself, I have found that people start to say it. I'm sure you who's watching this video, there's been so many times in your life where you started thinking a certain thing about yourself, you started feeling a certain way about yourself, and people started telling you that, oh, you are this way, why are you this way? Oh, why are you that way? People started reflecting back what you were thinking about yourself. I always say that your 3D reality is a mirror reflection of what goes on inside of you. So basically, You need to find a way to start assuming better things about yourself. We are done with assuming the worst about ourselves. We're done with assuming, oh my gosh, I'm so fucking unloved. Oh my gosh, I'm so poor. Oh my gosh, like, I'm always broke. Stop assuming the worst thing about yourself. Stop assuming you're ugly. Stop assuming that nobody likes you. Stop assuming that nobody respects you. Stop all of those negative assumptions. You've seen that those negative assumptions are true. You've seen that when you start assuming those bad things about yourself, they start becoming true. So with that power that you know that you have, what is stopping you from fucking assuming good things about yourself? If the bad assumptions you've assumed this far about yourself have been true, what if you move over here and now start assuming good things about yourself? Oh my gosh, I'm so loved. Gee, good things are always happening to me. OMG, I'm in the perfect health. OMG, I always have money flowing through my bank account. OMG, I am so magnetic. Like, I start assuming good things about yourself. And the same way you've seen bad things repeatedly repeat themselves in your life, because those are the things that you assume. If you want people to think of you as confident, start assuming that you're confident. That's where the thing they say, oh, fake it till you make it. And sometimes people say, oh, they can smell something that is fake from a mile away. That's because you're just faking it without any basis of assuming it yourself. For instance, I walk into a party and I'm acting all confident. You know, because some people get the idea that to be confident, you need to be so easygoing and trying to talk to people and show yourself to people, and that's false confidence, right? Now, for instance, I want people to think of me as confident, and I am not a confident person. What will I do? I will look in the mirror and tell myself, I'm so confident. Like, say it as many times as possible. You're so confident. Anna Annabelle, you're so confident. Like, people look at you and they think of you as the most confident person they've ever met. Like, you exude so much confidence. Now, when you channel that part of you, when you channel that higher self version of you that is so confident, when you channel the confident version of you, there is something it comes with. Your higher self now relaxes in his or her power. Now, somebody who has power does not go all out trying to prove their power. Do you understand? Which is why I will never try to prove myself to somebody when they ask me, oh, show me that you're this way, show me that. No, I don't ever engage in that behavior. So like I was saying, when you channel that part of you that is so confident, you now realize that you're seated on this pedestal that you put yourself on. You're on that pedestal, and everybody in your reality should try to please you. And then when you assume that about yourself, when you assume that, oh, I'm so confident, people try to please me, you're just there. And then because you have that aura around you, people are naturally gravitated towards it, and then they have this feeling, oh, this person is so confident. Like, you're so, even when you're talking, let's say you're doing public speaking, you come from that place of somebody who is confident, and people you're speaking to, they just feel that about you. That's the thing. Energy is so fucking contagious. Like, for instance, if I have zero confidence, right? My aura is just going to keep exuding it, like everywhere I go to. Even it comes from the slouching of the shoulder subconsciously. For somebody who is not confident, you first of all slouch your shoulder, and then because of the way you now interact with other people, people just get this idea, this person has zero confidence, and then before you know, nobody wants to associate with you. So that person naturally assumes that they don't have, oh my gosh, I don't have confidence. Like, you say it repeatedly, even before going out, I don't have confidence. Like, how do you people have this confidence? And then that person now goes out, and then that's the energy people are getting from them without them even uttering a word. So you wanting people to feel a certain way about you, you need to first of all assume it. If you want somebody to feel that you're sexy, if you want somebody to think of you as sexy, well, this person has mad sex appeal, you need to first assume that I have mad sex appeal. I am sexy, I am whatever the fuck it is you want people to assume of you. Start assuming that of yourself personally, and naturally they're just going to fall in line. Okay? If you want to keep seeing money as something that's hard to come by, you're going to keep assuming that. So if you know that you can assume yourself into brokenness, oh my gosh, my bank account is always so empty. With that power, assume yourself to be somebody who always has money, one way or the other. And money is just going to flow to you. Money's like energy. Okay? Going back to inventing Anna, the movie literally shows us how this woman took herself from point A to point B just by the things that she thought to be true about herself. Do you understand? Literally. And so I'm sure you know so many other people who just woke up and started assuming that they're wealthy. Before you know, you will not find those people in places that you found them in before. Maybe those people now stopped being in your circle. And then you would probably think of it as pride, but then those people have made a conscious decision to stop assuming the worst of their situation. They started assuming good things about themselves, and maybe you do not now fit into that idea. That's why they probably dissociated from you, because you keep assuming the worst about yourself. So what if you decide today to start literally assuming only the good things? What is stopping you? What is stopping you? I need you to try it out for a bit. Just give yourself 7 days, right? Start assuming, oh my goodness, only good things are allowed to happen to me. Start assuming that I am so loved. Start assuming that people just want to please you. And then I promise you, this is 100% guarantee. You're going to start noticing that good things are happening to you. Do you understand? If you want to start seeing money flowing to you, start assuming that money is always flowing to me. Start assuming it instead of assuming I'm broke. The thing about assumption is it's straight from your head, right? Assumption is straight from your head, so it's not something you need to see in reality before you start acting accordingly. You first see it in your mind, you start assuming good things about yourself, and then that's when it now becomes a reality. Because like I said, if you've been assuming bad things about yourself and you're seeing that they are coming to pass, you have the power within you to start assuming good things about yourself and notice how they start coming to pass. Okay, so now if you want people to start behaving a certain way towards you, what you need to do is simple. Start assuming the good things you want them to assume to think of you. Just like how Anna started behaving rich and she started behaving wealthy, she started only talking about wealthy things, and people just naturally just start thinking about her in that way. You yourself reinvent yourself. Start assuming only the good things that you want people to think about you by first of all internalizing it. Start believing these things, start saying these things to yourself, because if you do not say them to yourself, who is going to say them to you? So the take home basically is, if you want people to think of you in a certain way, start thinking of yourself in that way. If you want people to think of you as lovable, start thinking of yourself as lovable. If you want people to think of you as attractive, start thinking of yourself as attractive. Personally, I've been doing this experiment where I started thinking of myself as gangster. Or is gangster the right word? I think the right word is detached, able to do without whoever. I started thinking of myself like that. At the core of my nature, I am this lover girl. I love love, right? But because I wanted people to have this idea about me, I started thinking of myself as this person who is just detached from men. So the men who come into my reality time and time again, they keep saying, you're such a gangster, you don't look like somebody who loves, you don't look like, you are not a romantic person. I'm like, yes, you're not a romantic person. So when they say that, I'm like, okay, you have every right to say that, because that's what I think of myself in the first place. Okay. Now, with that being said, I have come to the end of this video. If this resonate with you, let me know in the comment section. I'd really love to read from you. How did you like today's video? If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Really love it if you do that. And I trust that you're going to subscribe to this channel. Can't wait to see you on my next video. Bye.